Our Gen Con coverage is brought to you by Hit Point Press. From animated spell and tarot cards to their breathtaking Humblewood campaign setting and adventure, Hit Point Press is your one-stop shop for amazing 5e content. Check out our links below for all the gaming goodness. We're here at the final day of Gen Con 2024 with our local neighbor, good buddy, Alan, the Dungeon Coach.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas strong, Houston strong. How's your con been?
Wild and crazy. I still have my voice for this time. This time last year, I was done. I was done. So yeah, it's been great.
That's a small victory right there in itself.
Yeah.
We've had more people asking about DC20 than just about anything else, and even around the we just hear people talking about it when we're passing people by. Huge. I think probably. Even with all the new versions like Starfinder and Pathfinder and D&D coming out, I don't think there's any more excitement about anything this year than DC20. For people who are maybe not familiar with it, what is DC20?
Oh gosh, DC20 is basically Duke from One Shot Questions described it really well, of the perfect love child between Pathfinder and D&D together, right? My main thing I ever played was 5th edition. That's all what I came up with. Came up through the TTRPG space with, and then I heard about Pathfinder's action point system, and I'm making the Alcanar's Almanac book I released. All I've ever done is homebrew for 5th edition, and then there's certain rules that came out that were like, this doesn't fit with 5th edition. This wouldn't be 5th edition anymore. It's not on brand for them. So I just continually built that pile up, and that rule system turned into DC20 with 4 action points. You can use them as reactions and stuff off your turn. Another reason why I'm at this con was I just finished a playtest yesterday with Brennan Lee Mulligan and Abria Iyengar, and they accidentally showcased some really cool things about DC20 where off their turn, Brennan has 4 action points, and then something happened to where he could trigger something, and he poured all his action points into this thing he wanted to do right now, and he was able to do it, and it keeps players engaged at the table and stuff. And then when his turn came back around, he didn't have that turn anymore because he just spent all his points right then. So yeah, there's a lots of the 4 action points. It's very fluid and customizable for monsters, for players, and that's been really the central focal point. And then there's character creation and tons of other stuff. But yeah, that's been probably the one big differentiator of just combat.
Yeah, and that just allows you the freedom as a player to be able to do maybe those little cinematic touches, those little extra things that you, instead of like, I swing my weapon, right. You have the space and the time where you feel like you're not, I'm not optimizing, you know, I want to do this cool thing that will be fun for my character story. Yeah.
That's so true, and you said optimizing. I feel like in D&D a lot of times your optimization is all character creation, how I build my character, and all this stuff. In DC20, a lot of the optimization is, how am I spending these 4 action points to squeeze as much out of them as I possibly can, set my allies up with conditions that work for them, and all this other thing. So yes, and then the last night in the playtest too, with some of the things I realized, like, we're level 1 and we have this amount of choice, and they casted a spell and they did something, they're like, oh, I still have another action point, and like it really lets them be, and he used it to help an ally, to give them a dice to be, so it incorporates teamwork too. So yeah, and then character creation has been really fun too, because a lot of times you can create characters that you're not able to because of certain stats have to be here, and you have to have high this and have to have high that for all this stuff. So it's been cool to see what characters are possible to make that wouldn't be possible in other games. So yeah.
The way I describe D&D versus Pathfinder is D&D is very easy for people to get into, but it's not very customizable. Like one 8th level paladin is not that different from any other 8th level paladin. Right. Pathfinder, a lot more difficult to really get into, but you can make the character that you wanted to make. You can really streamline them. So you found a place in the middle is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and intuitive is the best way I can try and do it, is that the rules are intuitive enough to where, like, at level 2, sure, you can go dabble and take one thing from another class, but you're not overloaded with a bunch of floating modifiers and a bunch of this and that and making checks for these certain things. It's a lot more focused on just epic cinematic fun. And you just reminded me of something else too. I think another thing about DC20 that I struggle with, or with other games that I struggle with as a game master, is explorations, wanting to run combats that I don't want to throw down a battle map for and spend an hour in combat, the little things that lead to the big boss fight. There's combat skill challenges where you can actually just describe, your players can even describe, oh, we're hunting this creature that has 2 horns and frog legs and it spits acid. Cool. I don't have to make mechanics for that. I don't have to get a mini for that. I don't have to throw. We can just describe having that, and you can do, it's called a combat skill challenge, where everybody describes what they do. They describe a cinematic thing. You make rolls. You could lose health. You could lose resources, but it's just designed to have a cinematic thing that drains your resources before you go into the big fight anyway. So cinematic storytelling is also a huge focus.
It's story first, and it does have those sometimes those common encounters can be a bit of a roadblock to story.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, we're going to slow down and we're going to lose momentum.
I can't do the frog fight because then we're going to not have time for the this or
You keep the suspension building. Sure. That's awesome. Now, for folks who maybe don't know a lot about DC20, like where are you at in the process? What's available for? What's the roadmap looking like?
So just launched the Kickstarter. 0.8 is the rules behind the Kickstarter. The 0.7 rules are freely available to everyone. You can pick them up right now on the website. It's the second DC20.com, second highest thing. It's free downloads for that. There's a free adventure, all that stuff. 0.8 is right now, and then probably in a couple months, 0.9, and I'm just going to keep releasing all the stuff. And anybody who buys it on the website or the Kickstarter just keeps getting all the updates along the way. And then, the slated estimate time is hopefully a year from now will be the whole finish and printing and all that kind of stuff. But I try not to say dates because then people get sad and all that stuff. So, but we're just, especially once we get back from Gen Con, I'll be able to kind of sit in and really pour into it now. So,
All this production and shipping, that's out of your control entirely.
Yeah.
Do you expect to have maybe a presence here at Gen Con next year where people can meet you, pick up the stuff?
I love what Kelsey Dion from Shadow Dark, we've been talking a while at the con, and it's been really, she has a booth, and there's a little section of the booth where you can do a little playtest. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do that next year. So I really want to next year have some sort of booth, DC20, books, but even just to showcase it, play test it with people, show some people. I'd love to do that, but we'll see.
I'm afraid you're going to need more than one table for that. You are going to need to set up in the demo room, get some volunteers out there. No, seriously, you're going to need, people are going to be lining up, and if you have one table, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, that's fun. And we'll see what it evolves into, because this is an awesome place. It's been so much fun. So
I think people are excited, too, to get on the ground floor or something. Something new, something exciting, something different, something that feels modern and innovative, shaking up the...
Innovative, thank you for that. Yeah.
Anything else you want to tease you got coming up that people can be excited about?
0.9 is subclasses. We got all the 39 different subclasses coming out in lots of different ways, and the class fantasy that is established with the DC20 characters compared to other things you might be used to might already be different. So to be able to branch out and how the game's already set up to kind of mix and match them and interweave them, I'm super excited for subclasses. So, yep.
Well, you live pretty near us. We have a little studio in our home that has an old gaming table, all sorts of dorm floors. One day when you want to show off the system, come to the house. We'll get around the table. I can be a player. You can run the thing. We'll get some of our buddies around. We have buddies who are improv comedians who come and play with us. Let's show off the system.
We are doing that for sure. I love that.
Excellent. All right. Well, I hope you have a safe trip home. Maybe we're on the same flight. We'll talk about that after. But congratulations on everything. Like, we're so proud of you. It's just been so fun to see everybody reacting so well. Just seeing somebody who's a kind guy get a lot of success and see it happening. Like, we're just excited for you.
Hey, I played with you, the guy holding the camera right now.
Grady.
Last year, I played it with, so thank you for investing in that and wanting to be like, what's this DC20 thing? So you guys are awesome.
Two-time Emmy award-winning Grady with a fresh medal around his neck right now.
Oh my God! Wow! I want to check that out.
Let's won the Emmy for best setting, gold Emmy best setting for Tianjia World Guy.
Let's go, Grady!
All right, well, we'll get home and we'll get that game set up and we'll see you soon. So thank you, Coach. It's good to see you.
Thanks, man.
Stay tuned here at the Gallant Goblin for the latest from Gen Con 2024. For now, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.